We're going to start by looking for the key details that we learned about the moon. In this text, we saw several examples of people who were inspired by the moon to create different pieces of artwork. So let's look for some of the details that we read about these people. We see our first one was in 1801, Ludwig van Beethoven composed a piano piece called Moonlight Sonata. Here's our first key detail we learned about the moon. Beethoven composed a piano piece called Moonlight Sonata. That would be my very first key detail that I would type in my house graphic organizer. As we kept reading, we learned and got some more examples. In 1889, Vincent van Gogh painted The Starry Night. There's a second example of a person painting something that depicted the moon or the sky. So we have our second key detail. Vincent van Gogh painted The Starry Night. These details are related. They're both showing people creating artwork or art pieces that were based on the moon. Here's our third example. In 2011, Marilyn Singer wrote a book called A Full Moon is Rising about how people all over the world celebrate the moon. Another example of a person creating a work of art based on the moon. These are the three details that I would put into my graphic organizer. There are three details. They have things in common. They're all about people who did different pieces of art, whether it was a piano piece, a painting, or a book, that was based on the moon. Now, to determine our main idea, we need to see what those three key details are pointing us to. Those three key details show people who were inspired by the moon to create different works of art. So if I was going to summarize what these three key details are telling me about the moon, I would say that the moon inspires people to create works of art. Each of those details were examples of people who created works of art, and I'm going to use that to sum it up to say that people have been inspired by the moon to create different works of art. So to review, we had the moon as our topic for the foundation of our house. We had three different examples of people who created works of art for our three key details. And our main idea showed us that the moon has inspired people to create different works of art. In your work today, you will need to come back and you will need to complete this graphic organizer based on this discussion we've just had in the video. To end, you're going to complete the exit slip question. Choose one of the key details from the graphic organizer and explain how the detail supports the central or main idea. You're going to be picking one of the three key details about the specific person who created a work of art. And you are going to explain how that detail about the person creating some form of art supports the idea that people were inspired by the moon. These three details are examples that show us someone specifically was inspired to create a work of art. So you're going to pick one specific detail and explain how it supports our central or our main idea.